Have you ever seen someone with a tattoo or piercing and wondered where these practices originated from? It's a question that might have crossed your mind as you admired the vibrant ink on a friend's arm or the gleaming stud in a stranger's nose. Today, let's journey back in time to explore the peculiar past of body modification. Body modification, believe it or not, has roots that dig deep into the soil of our shared human history. From the earliest civilizations, humans have been altering their physical appearances, not just for mere aesthetics, but for reasons profoundly interwoven with their culture and spirituality. Consider the ancient Egyptians, for instance. They were no strangers to the art of body modification. Gold earrings, a mark of status and wealth, were common among both men and women. Even their revered pharaohs were often depicted with stretched earlobes, a symbol of their divine connection to the gods. Then there was the Mayan civilization, where body modification took a rather extreme turn. The Mayans reshaped the skulls of their infants, believing that a long, sloping forehead was a hallmark of beauty. It was a painful process, no doubt, but one that was deeply ingrained in their societal norms. Moving across the globe to Africa, lip plates were a traditional form of body modification among the Mursi and Surma tribes of Ethiopia. These plates, often made from clay or wood, were inserted into a pierced hole in the lower lip, gradually stretching it over time. A larger lip plate signified greater beauty and could even increase a woman's bride price. And let's not forget the Maori people of New Zealand, whose intricate facial tattoos, known as moko, were more than just skin-deep designs. Each moko was a visual narrative, telling the story of the wearer's genealogy, achievements and status within the tribe. So you see, these practices, while they may seem strange to our modern sensibilities, were once a normal part of life for our ancestors. They used their bodies as a canvas, expressing their identities, beliefs and societal roles through the art of body modification. Remember, what seems unusual to us today was once a normal part of life for our ancestors. How far would you go to fit into your society's definition of beauty? This question leads us into a world where the bizarre and the beautiful intersect in the most surprising ways. Let's take a journey back in time to ancient Burma, where the women of the Kayan tribe would begin a lifelong process of neck elongation. Brass coils were added around their necks year after year to achieve a swan-like elegance. This was not merely a matter of personal vanity, but a societal expectation, a symbol of beauty, wealth and status. Now, let's travel halfway around the world to the indigenous tribes of North and South America. The Mayans, for instance, believed in the allure of an elongated, sloping forehead. Parents would bind their infants' heads with cloth, gradually moulding the skull's shape over time. It may seem extreme to us, but to them it was the epitome of beauty and nobility. Lastly, let's visit ancient China, where the tradition of foot binding, also known as lotus feet, was prevalent. Young girls' feet were bound tightly with cloth, forcing the toes to bend under the foot. This painful practice resulted in a tiny arched foot, deemed the height of feminine beauty and delicacy. These practices may seem extreme, even brutal to our modern sensibilities, but it's important to remember that beauty, like any other cultural construct, is subjective. It's shaped by the times we live in, the places we come from, and the societies we are a part of. While we might not go to such lengths today, we still modify our bodies in numerous ways. Think of tattoos, piercings, or even plastic surgery. These are our modern interpretations of beauty, our ways of conforming to or rebelling against societal norms. It's fascinating, isn't it, how our perception of beauty varies so greatly across different cultures and time periods. In the end, it's all about the human desire to fit in, to be accepted, and to feel beautiful in our own unique ways. Did you know that certain inventions we use today were inspired by ancient body modification practices? Yes, you heard it right. Let's delve into history and see how body modification practices have influenced our everyday items. Take earrings, for instance. Today they're considered a staple in anyone's jewelry box, but did you know that they were initially used for body modification? That's right. In ancient times, earrings were not just decorative pieces, but were believed to ward off evil spirits or enhance physical or mental abilities. People pierced their ears and wore earrings as a form of protection, power, or status symbol. Over time, this body modification practice has evolved into the fashion trend we know today, with earrings becoming more about personal style and less about spiritual or protective properties. Now let's talk about tattoos. While they're often seen as a form of self-expression today, they've had a range of uses throughout history. In ancient cultures, tattoos were used for identification, status symbols, or rites of passage. But did you know that tattoos have also found their place in medical treatments? Yes, you heard it right. One notable example is the invention of permanent makeup for patients with vitiligo, a condition that causes loss of skin color in patches. To help these patients, medical professionals have taken a leaf out of the tattoo artist's book. They use tattooing techniques to implant pigment into the skin, creating the illusion of a more uniform skin tone. This medical treatment was inspired by the ancient art of tattooing, showing how body modification practices can lead to innovative solutions in unexpected areas. So there you have it. From earrings to medical treatments, the influence of body modification practices is far-reaching, even in ways we might not immediately recognize. It's fascinating to see how these ancient practices have shaped our modern world, isn't it? So next time you put on your earrings, remember that you're partaking in a tradition that goes back thousands of years. So many myths surround the practice of body modification, but how many of these are true? Let's delve into some of the most prevalent myths and misconceptions. One common fallacy is that body modification is always painful. Yes, some discomfort can be part of the process, but it's not a universal truth. Techniques and technology have evolved over centuries, and professionals today often employ numbing agents and other methods to minimize discomfort. Another widely held misconception is that body modifications are inherently dangerous. But like any procedure, the risk lies in the hands of the practitioner, not the practice. A skilled and knowledgeable professional using sterilized equipment in a clean environment significantly reduces the risk. It's imperative to remember that safety should always be a priority when considering body modification. There's also a myth that body modification is a new trend, popularized by the rebellious youth of today. But history tells us a different story. Ancient cultures around the globe have been modifying their bodies for thousands of years, for reasons ranging from spiritual beliefs to societal status. It's not a fad, it's a tradition that has stood the test of time. Moreover, some people believe that those who modify their bodies are impulsive, not giving enough thought to the permanence of their decisions. This is rarely the case. Many who choose body modification spend a significant amount of time contemplating their choices, understanding the commitment, and considering the societal perceptions. Lastly, there's the stereotype that body modification is a form of self-mutilation or a sign of psychological distress. While it's true that some people may use body modification as a coping mechanism, it's unjust to label all individuals who enjoy body modification under this umbrella. For many, it's a form of self-expression, a way to take ownership of their bodies and display their individuality. It's always important to separate fact from fiction, especially when it comes to our bodies. Let's not allow misconceptions to cloud our understanding. Body modification, like any other form of art, is subjective. It's a personal choice, and as long as it's done safely and respectfully, there's no right or wrong way to appreciate it. In our modern world, body modification has taken on new forms and meanings. We've come a long way from the ancient practices of body modification, haven't we? Today, these practices are viewed through a lens of acceptance and inclusivity, largely owing to the rise of body positivity movements. Body modification is no longer just about cultural rituals or societal norms. It's an avenue for self-expression, a way for individuals to showcase their identity and personality. Every tattoo tells a story. Every piercing can signify a personal victory or a cherished memory. Body modification has become an art form, a canvas for individuals to paint their narratives. Consider the surge in popularity of tattooing. Once associated with sailors and outlaws, tattoos are now seen as a mainstream form of self-expression. From delicate floral designs to intricate geometric patterns, tattoos are a way for people to wear their hearts, quite literally, on their sleeves. Piercings, too, have evolved. They're not just about ears and noses anymore. From eyebrow to navel to more unconventional areas, the options are limitless, each one an opportunity to express a unique style or sentiment. Body modification isn't just about aesthetics either. It's about reclaiming one's body, about asserting control and autonomy. It's a form of resistance, a way to challenge societal norms and expectations of beauty. And let's not forget about the body positivity movement, championing acceptance and inclusivity. It encourages us to embrace our bodies, modifications and all, and to celebrate our uniqueness. It urges us to see body modification not as a deviation, but as a celebration of individuality. In the end, the choice to modify one's body is a personal one. It's about expressing who you are and feeling comfortable in your own skin. Body modification is more than just a trend, it's an embodiment of personal freedom and self-expression. And isn't that what our modern world is all about? Embracing individuality and celebrating diversity. After all, every body is a work of art, waiting to be adorned with its own unique embellishments.